You know, like from young people will say what, Apu Nene will come catch you.
What's the point now? Like, we keep on talking about it, and then like all the remarks is just, oh, go back to your country.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of Street Talk. My name is Dejong, your host for this week's episode. During our National Day rally, our Prime Minister mentioned that it is baseless to claim that there is such a thing called Chinese privilege in Singapore. He also noted that all races in Singapore are treated equally without any special privileges. However, our ethnic minorities still claim that they face difficulties in finding jobs and apartments for rent. Is there actually Chinese privilege in Singapore? Let's hit the streets to find out more. My first question to you would be, do you think that there is Chinese privilege in Singapore?
I would say yes. Because like majority of us here, we are like Chinese. The majority always wins.
Is there such a thing called Chinese privilege in Singapore?
I think there is just like a little bit because in terms of like maybe work related because of the language barrier and stuff.
When there's a majority population over here, they will like obviously want to take control. Maybe there is partiality slightly towards Chinese people. Yeah,
I agree.
Do you think that there's this thing called Chinese privilege in Singapore?
Okay. Yeah, I kind of think there is in Singapore. Yeah, I mean like, it's like PMD said. It's like what he was trying to say was like it's not like in the laws lah. In legally, they did everything they could.
So, as a Chinese yourself, what privileges do you think that you have enjoyed previously in the past?
I think like sometimes people like say like they have a preference for things, especially like when it comes to race. So I think that because I'm Chinese, so I don't get that a lot. So usually I get my way a lot because nobody has ever like straight up said to me I don't want to accept you because of your race.
大家都一样了，我觉得。我们周围的朋友也是有 Chinese， 有印度，有 Malay， 还有洋人，我们都是这样做沟通啊。
I know the government has this scheme where they have like each HDB block has like a certain percentage of different races. Let's say I want to sell my flat or cannot sell to like another race, so that puts them at disadvantage.
So, any examples of Chinese privilege that you have seen around?
For example, all these stuff racist jokes. Like from young people will say what, Apu Nene will come catch you. Maybe we think it's something small, but from all these jokes, it's like evident that there's a certain level of discrimination. Like we think like Chinese, maybe we are more superior. Yeah.
So, let's say there are like job adverts that states that you need to speak Chinese. Do you think that is discrimination?
You say it's like their company or like their business, so they are allowed to give their opinions on whoever they want to work with.
When we are talking about only Chinese, it is necessary for the job because other races cannot fluently communicate with the clients or like maybe for example or like consumers. But if you're stating a job preference solely based on your preference, that is where it is wrong.
I don't think it's discrimination. We all know English, like we all have to learn English because now USA is the main powerhouse, right? So like I don't think it's discrimination.
So it's more like a necessity now.
没有特地说你一定要讲华语，除非他说你要讲华语跟英文。
It's like just a cover up lah. Like maybe you just have like a personal thing against minorities, so you don't want so you just put it as like you just want Mandarin speaking.
How does the government know that you're having a discriminatory practice against, like, let's say, oh, I really need someone that speaks Chinese, for example?
It's a good one. You want to take this?
What about for, like, let's say you're renting a place and there's someone that says, I only want a Chinese-speaking person. Is that discrimination then?
那个是可能那个房东他自己不懂得其他的语言，所以他害怕，所以他就是要比较懂得讲华语的。
所以你觉得那些房东要找顾客的时候，你觉得他们可以放我比较喜欢一个讲中文的，比较喜欢华族的，你觉得这个是合法的吗？
应该是不可以这样放了，不好了。
I don't think it's personal preference. I think it's more of like okay, maybe it's personal preference. Hold on. Can I redo this?
It's disrespectful, but it's personal preference. Yeah, like if you say this discrimination, also can lah. But then the person also have the right to say, but it's my own preference, what?
So where does the line is drawn between, let's say, personal preference and discrimination?
Okay,
Or is it very arbitrary?
that's why you have to speak up if you feel like it's a bit sensitive or you are hurt by it.
Whenever we speak up about like certain disadvantages that we face, certain challenges that we face, it always puts us in a bad line. Like the blame is always shifted back against us. So it kind of makes us afraid to like speak up lah. Cause like, what's the point? What's the point now? Like we keep on talking about it, and then like all the remarks is just, oh, go back to your country.
Whoever stays there, the house is just going to be that. So in terms of renting an apartment, I would say that having a Chinese or having a Malay, I would say that that's discrimination.
So, is there a Chinese privilege in Singapore? Administratively, nope. So our Prime Minister was correct in saying that on a legal basis, there is no special privileges accorded to the Chinese people in Singapore. However, some of our street talkers feel that on a day-to-day basis, there are instances where Chinese people are preferred over the other races. Oh, we, as the Chinese majority, has a responsibility to ensure that our ethnic minorities feel welcome and not discriminated right here in Singapore. So what are your thoughts? Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Like this video and we will see you next week right here on Street Talk. Bye bye.